Hey, Calvary family, good evening to you. We're at the end of day 7 of our shelter in place. Hopefully, you're all able to keep your sanity and not going stir crazy at this point. And hopefully, you've been able to get out and get some exercise possibly over the weekend. Yesterday was a gorgeous day. Hopefully, you got a hold of the video yesterday on YouTube and you were able to watch that as well. Today, I just want to check in, make sure everybody is doing well, was able to get a lot of emails done today, a lot of communication, and I was able to check in with a number of people from church, and everybody seems to be doing great, and so we're very glad for that as well. Just a quick challenge today. We're continuing to look at spiritual disciplines, and I want to look at both today and tomorrow the discipline of fasting. And I was reading this morning in Isaiah 58, and it's pretty fascinating what God says about the fasting here. It talks about Judah coming, they were fasting before God, and they were actually asking a question, are we fasting in vain? Because it doesn't seem as though God is actually working. It doesn't seem as though God is answering their prayers. And so God responds to them in a very unique way. He says, I'm not interested in the fast of sackcloth and ashes, of bowing your head and shame and humility. He says, but really I'm interested in the kind of fast that sets people free. He talks about a fast that breaks the yoke of bondage that is on people, that frees the oppressed, that feeds the hungry, that clothes the naked. And I actually found it to be very fascinating today as well, because one of our prayers is that we can reach our community, that we can be different, have a difference in our community, make a difference in our community. And the passage goes on to say, when we have a fast that leads to this kind of a response. Now, Israel's fast, it led to arguments and pointing fingers and anger and so forth. But a kind of fast that actually leads to serving others. He actually says that our light will shine forth in the dawn. And then he goes on and he says that our light will be as the noonday, and that it will break forth out of the darkness, that it will actually have a difference. It will be like a garden in a scorched land as a result of this fasting there. There's also a promise that he gives to us. He says that when we fast this way and we come before the Lord in this way with a mindset of serving others and meeting the needs of others, that he says that he will lead us in righteousness and that he will also be our rear guard. And so he is talking there about he goes before us and he comes behind us. And what an incredible truth that God has for us concerning fasting. I think many times we view fasting as something for me. We view fasting as something that I do to get God to answer my question, or my prayer. But what God actually is saying is that fasting ought to lead us to a place of service and ministry to the poor, to the oppressed, to the forsaken, to those who are suffering injustice. And so, very interesting passage. Again, Isaiah 55. I encourage you to read through it and see some other interesting comments that Isaiah makes there as well. Tomorrow we'll pick up on the idea of fasting in relationship to the time of the year that we're in, Lent and Easter, and how it all relates to that, and what we might be able to learn through that as well. But for now, just know that we continue to think about you, we continue to pray for you, and we're looking forward to hearing and touching base with several of you. Again, if we can do anything, reach out to us, let us know, and we again are missing seeing you in person, but glad we can touch base with you through video. Have a great night.